If you've already published your book, but it's not bringing you any clients, today I've written down the top 5 mistakes to avoid, but really the top 5 reasons that this happens. And we're going to go over these so that you can either go back and fix the mistakes in your book and the customer journey, or if you are still in the process of writing, you're in an even better spot to avoid these from the start. If you're new here, my name is Brian Elwood. I've published 3 books that have generated over 440 high-ticket clients for my coaching business. I've written dozens of books for other experts and coaches who do 7 and 8 figures, and they use books as the way to drive more clients and customers for their business. And we're going to unpack the way that this works correctly by learning what not to do. Sometimes when you learn the biggest mistakes to avoid, it's actually an easier way to understand how to get it right. It's just the way the human brain is wired. So let's dive into the first one right now. And this is the big one. And this is that the book itself is not positioned correctly. This is the number one mistake. Like if you help someone lose weight by doing yoga, then your book should be about how to help someone lose weight by doing yoga. Then your coaching program is just a one-on-one, hands-on, like white glove way to fulfill the same thing. Often I see people write broad books like about mindset or personal development, and then they have a coaching program that's like help you start an online business or something. And those two don't match up, right? If you want to write a broad book, you can, but just know that it's going to have a harder time achieving a business outcome for you. So if you're unclear on your niche or your offer, that is the first place to start, because a book is just a representation of that in between a cover, a front cover and a back cover that costs $10 and shows someone how to do it themselves. Number 2, the second biggest mistake why your book is done, but it's not getting you clients. And I see this one all the time. It's that the book is only on Amazon. I've had many people come to me and their book's just sitting on Amazon. It's selling a few copies, but nothing's really happening. Here's why that's a problem. When you just put your book on Amazon, if someone buys it, you don't get their information. Amazon doesn't provide you with their email and their phone number so that you can actually reach out to them and follow up with them. Statistically in business, it takes something like 6 to 12 follow-ups to get a customer on average. So I think the statistic is that 80% of your business comes from between the 6th and the 12th touch follow-up. So think about that. If you can't follow up even one time, then you're losing more than 80% of your business. And this is literally how the numbers play out when you compare someone who just has their book on Amazon versus they actually have it in a funnel specifically leading to those other things they want to sell. So yes, we want to put our book on Amazon. Absolutely. It's where people are most comfortable buying. It's the best place to consume an audiobook. That's for sure. However, I always build book funnels for my clients as well. If you don't know what a book funnel is, it's like a page with a video and a picture of the book and testimonials and reasons, why they should buy it, the problem it solves. You can get it for $8 or free plus shipping. You've probably seen like Russell Brunson's books that way. And then you can sell other stuff in that funnel right there on the page and then get their email and ask them to book a call and learn about your higher ticket coaching or consulting services. Once you have a funnel like that built, that is where to send the traffic that you generate. So if you're going to go out and build a YouTube channel or Instagram or LinkedIn or run ads or whatever, you don't see people running ads to their Amazon listing, right? They run ads to funnels because they are about 1,000 times more optimal in terms of squeezing the juice from the fruit being The fruit being the attention that you get, the eyeballs, the prospects, right? So we always want to put our book on Amazon, but build a funnel in addition to it. And then the number 3 big mistake to avoid that's linked to this is not having a call to action in your book, or only having one at the very end. So statistically, 80% of people only make it 20% of the way through your book. That's just the way it is, right? It's the same thing like if you've ever sold an online course and you see that most people drop off at 25%. That's actually pretty common. There's this excitement in the beginning, and then there's this sort of fatigue that sets in when people find out how much work they actually have to do to get the result. We could have a whole video on that alone because it's funny. It's kind of symbolic for why people aren't successful in the first place. But it's true inside of a book as well. So you want, like, the first 20% of the book is so important. And I'll just give you a bonus mistake right now that I didn't even think to write down, which is that I see books, like I review books that have already been published, and I'm like, okay, the author didn't even tell their origin story. They just skipped right into teaching. And that is like the biggest mistake you could make in terms of the content in the book. So remember our example about helping people lose weight with yoga? Well, like the introduction to that book is like, my name is Melissa, and I used to weigh 300 pounds. And I was miserable. And then I tried everything. I tried running. It hurt my knees. One day I stumble across this YouTube video. I do a yoga class. You get where I'm going with this, right? She tells the story of how she discovered yoga and used it for weight loss. And now she weighs 140, and she has her before and after pictures, and she looks great. And here's some other people she's helped as well. The reader has to see that so that they can say, okay, the person that I'm actually listening to is credible. And you don't tell the wrong origin story. You don't tell a story about how you, overcame some other illness or made some money or, found the love of your life. You tell the story of how you lost weight with yoga, because that's what the book is about. And so the origin story is critical. But getting back to the original mistake we're pointing out here is that you want to have a CTA also up in the front of the book, in the important section of the book. In fact, you want to have the CTA to work with you at least 4 to 5 times throughout the book. I'm talking like a pop-out section with a QR code that they can go, and it goes right to your VSL page, video sales letter page. Got a video of you talking about the problem you solve, some testimonials, click here to book a call kind of thing. We want to do that so we optimize for the eyeballs that we get. And if you don't have a book funnel, and you just put it on Amazon, this is a way to try to get back some of that inefficiency that you're losing, because you can grab people's emails when they, follow the QR code to the website, put their email in. You're at least building an email list. You're creating an email newsletter if that's what you want to do. It's a very critical part of this whole ecosystem. Okay. So that's mistake number 3 is no call to action in your book that leads people to a page where they can book a call, where they can get in touch with you. I made this mistake in a couple of my early books, and I would get like weird message requests on Facebook, and people were like, I've been trying to figure out how to get a hold of you because I read your book, Nail Your Niche, right? And I just didn't have any way for them to get in contact with me. Crazy. All right. Mistake number 4 is that sometimes people are just not selling enough copies. I know one woman who came to me, and she had a book and it wasn't bringing her any clients, and she was only selling 15 copies a month on Amazon, right? She had a CTA, didn't have a book funnel, and these numbers just don't work. So typically you will see about 1 to 3% of your book buyers become high ticket clients. So let's say you want to get 2 clients a month at $5,000 each. So you can make 10 grand a month. You actually need to sell about 100 books a month to get those 2 clients. 100 books sold should turn into about 10 sales calls and 2 clients closed. And that's conservative. It could be a little bit better, but that's what to shoot for. So if she was only selling 10 copies a month, it would take her 10 months to get 2 clients instead of the 1 month that she wants it to happen in, so she can actually pay her bills. Huge difference. Just a different set of expectations. And there was a Seth Godin quote that I always repeat. He says, if you want to be successful as an author, you want to be successful with books, you have 2 jobs. Your first job is to write a great book. Your second job is to sell the first 10,000 copies. He went on to explain that when you do those 2 things, the first 10,000 people become the fan base that tell more people about it. Because again, you did the first thing, you wrote a great book. That's a feat on its own. But your book can grow from a word of mouth perspective when you write a great book and sell the first 10,000 copies. Now, he's more talking about the traditional publishing route versus we're here as a coach or an expert writing books to grow our business and get more clients and customers. But the same philosophy applies, just in that you have to write a great book and you have to promote the crap out of it. It is not something that just works on its own right out of the gate. Your job after you publish your book for the next 2 or more years is to promote that book. And then since you did a great job of writing a book and you have a systemized customer journey where you're selling it in a funnel and then it sends people emails, it builds more trust, it tells them about your offer, it asks them to book a call with you, you can trust that system and let it work for you. But you have to put fuel in on the front end, meaning you have to promote and sell the book. So don't make that mindset mistake when it comes to books. Just like when you have a baby, if you have kids, like I have 2 little girls, it's a lot of work to bring them into the world. Obviously, my wife did 99.9% of that. But then when they're here, is the work over? Of course not. It's just beginning. And you could say it even gets harder. That's what you got to do if you want to be successful with books. You got to find a way to promote it. No one cares about your book as much as you do. There's not even a close second. Okay. So you must do the work to promote your book. And then again, expect 1 to 3 high ticket clients for every 100 books that you sell. And another thing that's kind of interesting, the sales cycle for books is longer than other things. Like 60 to closer to 90 days is normal. That means someone buys your book, it takes him 3 months to actually read through it and then book a call and then become a client. Now that sounds crappy, right? But here's the silver lining. Book readers convert 3 times higher than non-book readers. So the people that are on those sales calls are 300% more likely to work with you. They're warmer, they trust you, they've been spending all those hours with you getting the book read. I'm going to make more videos about Google's 7-11-4 rule, where they found that people need to spend 7 hours with the brand before they trust them enough to buy. That's the 7 in 7-Eleven-4. It's worth studying, but books do a great job of doing that. So that longer sales cycle is worth the wait. You just can't expect it to be like, I launched my book and then my sales counter is going to light up that same week. People need time to consume your book. Okay. All right. We've gone through the first 4 mistakes. Let's go to number 5. And this one could potentially be the biggest mistake of all. Mistake number 5 is that your offer that you sell is actually not strong enough. Okay. So this is if you are trying to get clients, like in that you're making offers to people, but they're saying no. So you're on calls with people, you present this offer, but they don't take it. And we are assuming that you are at least decent at sales. Okay. So if you don't track your numbers, it's hard to know. 20% is, the minimum that's expected in the sales world. And this is like, if you pay a salesperson, typically the person, like if it's me on the sales call versus someone that works for me, the close rate will be higher than 20%. Because there's more trust. So if you are terrible at sales, like I was for many, many years, that could be your bottleneck. I mean, I just completely bombed sales calls. If you want me to make another video to share what I've learned as an introvert who teaches too much and who sucks at sales, how I actually got fairly decent at it, I would say I am today. I'm totally different on a sales call than I used to be. Just put sales or something in the comments and I'll note that to make that video. But let's assume that's not your bottleneck. You're decent enough. It's likely your offer. Okay. And one thing that I see happening a lot is people don't have enough credibility yet. And they're trying to just be a coach, a consultant. They're just like, oh, yeah, I just want to sit back and charge someone, $8,500 for 10 weeks with me. And I'll just tell them what to do on my calls. Like, no one's going to pay for that. You're not the man or the woman yet, right? You got to earn your stripes. I mean, most of the people that pay me a bunch of money are paying me to write books and build funnels for them, not to coach them on how to do it. Done for you is way easier to sell than done with you or do it yourself. Yes, it's not scalable, but you can charge 2, 3, 4 times as much. So you can pay your bills a lot easier. And eventually you have 2 things, such a huge wall of testimonials of proof that you can do this. And 2, you have so many leads that you don't really need to take on done for you clients. At that point, you kick back and you become the cool guy consultant who gets paid a lot to just answer questions on group Zoom calls. That's a dream, but you have to earn your way there. Okay? Just like in the martial arts world, you can't just teach a big group of people how to do jujitsu if you're not a black belt or at least something, closer to that, right? Which takes 10 years of practice to get to. And then you earn the people respect you enough, what you say enough to just pay to listen to you in a group instead of like giving one-on-one jiu-jitsu lessons, if that's an analogy that makes sense for you. So you can switch to more done for you and less trying to be a coach and scale and automate it and all that too soon. You can also just make your offer better, like make it more worth the money than it is. Include more truly valuable bonuses in your offer. That is the biggest point of leverage. That's why I do this with my clients. Like, we don't just write them a book and build them a book funnel. We also rebuild their coaching or consulting offer from the ground up. I got to move this plant a little bit out of the way. This thing's in rehab right now, so I'm trying to get it as much sun as it can in this window here, but kind of pushing up on me. And anyways, the offer is critical to your success. I mean, like, it's true for every business. What if Apple sold crappy iPhones? What if a restaurant sold crappy food? You know, like, the product is everything. So if you don't have that right, don't even write a book in the first place. Figure out how to refine your niche, make the best offer ever, and then the book is how you advertise it and build trust at scale. That's all I got for you guys. I appreciate you watching this, and if you want my help doing all of these things in your corner, one-on-one coaching, either doing it all for you, doing it with you, you can click the link in the description or the pinned comment to watch the little video that I talked about, same one that's linked in my book, about how I help clients. And thank you for being here. Please hit like on the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.